Okay, let's start. Welcome to my presentation. We are on project low emission ship. I will first refresh you of our project and introduce some low emission technology. And throughout some comparison, we will conclude that LNG ship is the best, and I will brief about future and limitations of LNG ship. So, first refreshment. We should reduce air pollution for our Earth, and so IMO is regulating all operating ships about its emission of nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, carbon dioxide, and particulate matter, which is dust in air. So IMO has set an emission control areas like the map. In those areas, the ships are under more strict regulations. These are the sulfur regulations for outside and inside of ECA, and you can see that the regulation is really tightening recently. So how can ships deal with these tight regulations? I will first introduce about the SOx, sulfur oxide reduction method. So I bring the three methods. The first one is the scrubber. It cleans the exhaust gas by oxidation. It can achieve 95% reduction, though it should induce some initial cost. And the second is the ship can burn the low sulfur fuel. The ship can use MGO with 0.1% sulfur, or you can blend high sulfur fuel and low sulfur fuel. So this will induce 40 to 80% fuel price increase. And the third is LNG ship. LNG contains no sulfur, so LNG ship emits zero SOx. So though it should induce large initial cost, its fuel price is 15% lower. So what method will ship owner choose? It totally depends on its cost. So we've done a cost analysis. This is our result. It shows the overall cost over time when it's applied in 2020. So number one, scrubber has some initial cost, and the fuel cost is set to zero for comparison. This is the reference line. And number two, low sulfur fuel has little initial cost, but has higher fuel price. So as time goes by, the cost spent increases. And number three, the LNG ship has large initial cost, but has lower fuel price, though compared to the scrubber case, so the graph decreases over time. And what this crossing point means is the payback period. For example, before the period, the LNG ship has higher total money spent than the scrubber case, and after that, the LNG ship will be more economical. So at payback period of LNG ship is 20 years. This looks pretty long, right? But I will show. We will make a change to this graph. This is a modified graph. This includes the possible future changes. The first change I think about is LNG price will decrease. It is due to the shale gas technology will advance, and also the trade volume of LNG will increase. And the second change is in the future the regulation will further tighten. If the regulations tighten, we need lower sulfur fuel, right? Then the low sulfur fuel price will increase like that. And the regulation tightening will also induce the higher scrubber performance. This will induce the scrubber price increase. So the initial price of scrubber has increased. And the third change is the scrubber regulation. The scrubbers are not totally eco-friendly. So summing up all these effects, the new payback period became 2 years for the LNG ship. So throughout this cost analysis, we concluded that the LNG ship would be a pretty attractive solution for the SOx reduction solution. And we've done it for SOx, and let's move on to NOx. We need 74% reduction for NOx for the next step of regulation. And again, I brought the three solutions. The first is actually a group of solutions. Its primary methods. It's managing the combustion stage for the ship by adding further equipment to power system or tuning the engine. It can achieve 10 to 70% reduction. though this number is not sufficient for future regulations. The second one is similar to the scrubber. It's SCR. It also cleans the exhaust gas and achieve up to 95% reduction. And it's currently a popular method, though it's massive and expensive. And the third is again LNG ship. It achieves 80% NOx reduction without any extra equipment. So if you choose LNG ship as a SOx reduction method, you automatically achieve 80% NOx reduction. And this is the main cause we have chosen LNG ship as the best solution for low emission ship. So in summary, LNG ship is a very economical solution in terms of SOx reduction, and it simultaneously achieves 80% NOx reduction. And also, it is said to be confirmed that energy efficient and it reduces 25% CO2, and it has 0 PM emission. So, summing up this, so we can, it looks like it's a pretty attractive solution for the regulations in today and in the future. So actually, the global trend agrees with our conclusion. In 2025, the 7% of all ships will be powered by LNG, and among the 7%, 78% will be container ships, and only 12% will be bulk carrier, and 80% of cruise ships will be LNG powered. So this is a global trend, and we found its odd characteristics. Some category of ships are more likely to turn into LNG ships than the other. What differentiates the ships into these two groups? We wanted to find this answer for this question. The answer was this. The operation type was different. The two types exist. Container ships and cruise ships are liners, and bulk carriers are trampers. We can metaphor liners and trampers as shuttle bus and a taxi. Liners operate regularly between 2 or 3 specific ports, and it has higher possibility of entering emission control area regularly and frequently. On the other hand, trampers make contracts for every transportation, new contracts for every transportation. So its schedule and route is irregular like this, and it enters ECA irregularly and infrequently. So when a ship without an emission control device enters ECA, it empties the fuel tank and refills it with low sulfur fuel, and this procedure is really inefficient and loss of time and money. So the LNG ship should be more beneficial and attractive for the liners since it enters ECA more frequently than the trampers. So this was the answer for our question. And move on to the next step. If the LNG ship is so powerful, why hasn't all ships turned into the LNG ship already? The main obstacle was lack of LNG bunkering, the storing and fueling system for LNG ships. The world's LNG bunkering facility is not enough currently for now, but the world is changing fast. Most countries in Asia with ports are preparing for the bunkering system. So what can South Korea do? South Korea has two main disadvantages. It has little production of oil and gas, and there can be no pipeline on the land to transport fuel. So we Group 4 has set our next task as developing a new bunkering concept appropriate for South Korea that will overcome these disadvantages. So we will brief our result in next presentation. So this is our schedule. We are currently on here, and this is our job location. Both group members have jobs in research part and development part. So this is a reference. Thank you for your attention. Questions?
Other team? think the presentation was very nice, especially the cost analysis seems quite reasonable. But I think first you should decide the comparing ship size or the purpose, because I think, for example, if you consider for a ship that only operates near the coastal area, I think if you only consider the environmental issue, using battery might be more better solution. So if you just first decide the purpose of the ship and distance of the ship, then that kind of a comparison might be more reasonable, I think.
Okay, I think I have considered only the biggest market, the container ships and bulk carriers.
So you compare the three types, right?
Yes, for both reductions.
Scrubber, LNG, and
Low
fuel type?
sulfur fuel.
Low sulfur fuel type. So you decide to go for the LNG, using LNG, right?
Yes, for LNG ship is the best type.
No. My question is, among three alternatives, you already decided to choose LNG, right?
Yes.
And then you showed us a cost and also, but what can you show? Did you show the emission level of these three alternatives?
Yes, it's low for scrubber it's up to 95%. Low sulfur fuel it really depends on the types of low sulfur fuel. And LNG ship has no emission, 0%. I compare like this.
So your project title is a low emission ship, right? So I want to see what is the low emission.
How low is it?
Right. How low? Comparing between the other alternative. So economy and emission level should be the two important factors. Yeah? I want to see both of them. You already show us economy cost.
Okay.
The other one is emission.
More concentrated on that.
All right. Thank you very much.
Our project. The project title is Offshore Plastic Processing Plant, and this is stage 6. These are the contents of my presentation. So, a little review of our project. We are working on the idea of an offshore facility which can take the plastic garbage inside the ocean and process it and then return uh, the processed plastic to the shore. This is the overall plan. This is There is little change in the job allocation. Mr. J.K. Lee is busy and I am presenting on his place. So, how to estimate the amount of plastic which is present in the ocean? There is a lot of discussion about the possible amount of plastic in the ocean. The most recent and the most credible research is done by the Ocean Cleanup Organization. They use three methods. First, they flew a plane over the ocean and they took pictures. And through this method, they calculated the concentration of the plastic. The second one was traveling in lines uh, with vessels and putting the trawls at the back of the vessels and collecting plastic. The third one was random traveling. So these are the results of their research, and they say that the size of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is about 1.6 million kilometers. It is 2 times the size of Texas, 3 times the size of France, and there are other statistics as well. But the alarming situation is that this study indicates that the amount is rapidly increasing. In fact, the title of the research is also that the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is rapidly accumulating plastic. So it is, they are saying that there is 4 to 16 times higher concentration. And the purpose of studying, the purpose of reviewing the research on the possible amount of plastic is that since we are going to design a facility for the processing, so we think that it's important to know about the classification of these plastics and how we are going to process. So mostly the two dominant types of plastics are the hard plastic, which is classified as plastics, sheet, and films, and then there is N type, which are the fishing nets, ropes, and lines. Uh, this is a this is an old pattern of the shipping routes in the Pacific. It's coming from the World Meteorological Organization and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (USA). So, regarding the recycling of plastics, it can be divided into three major categories. We studied recycling of plastic with main focus on whether we will be needing the separation or not, because in the ocean uh, 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 it will add a process and we have to design a separate unit for this separation. So chemical recycling is a type of recycling which doesn't require a very strict separation between different types. But the problem with chemical recycling is that it requires heating the plastic to a very high temperature, and that requires more energy. So we shifted from our initial goal of recycling in the ocean to crushing in the ocean and packaging and then recycling on the shore, because that much amount of energy just from getting from wind turbines is quite difficult. Uh, this shows what I just explained, that chemical recycling needs a lot of heat. So, what are the basic functions of our OPPP? It should receive plastic from existing systems. It should store the unprocessed plastic. It should separate plastic and non-plastic. It should crush plastic, and it should put back the processed in standard size containers, and it should store them, and it should ship back to the shore. And to do these processes we require power. So depending on these functions, we can classify the possible units of OPP, which I think are these following. Floating port, it should, the concept is related to the idea of a crane barge, that uh, we need to take plastic and we need to also give the processed plastic to the ships. So there should be an interlink between OPP and incoming outgoing ships. Secondly, there is a storage facility, separation of plastic and non-plastic, processing units, packaging, wind turbine, and additionally we also think that we can install some solar panels on the area. This is a comparison of existing works on the collection. So the one, those one in the red, they haven't started yet, but they are the biggest and I think most comprehensive organizations, because uh, their ideas are now circulating around the globe, and they have built two systems which I will discuss in the next slide. So the Ocean Cleanup Organization comes up with the idea of this structure. It has a tube on the both sides, and it is a remote system, and it collects plastic garbage. They haven't started yet. They plan to put the first system in the mid 2018, which is I think very close. And this is the mentorship of French-based the sea cleaners, and they are in very initial stage. uh, this is a review of the existing offshore port services concepts, just to help us with the designing the interlink unit. And these slides, you all are familiar with this. And these are the types of offshore wind turbines. So this is the first arrangement our group has decided. The unit 1 operates as an the unit for receiving and shipping the plastics. So this is a crane barge or floating crane. So it should transfer the plastics to the separation unit. Then there is processing, and at the end there is packaging. This is the top side view. But there are pros and cons of this arrangement. The advantages are it is safer because the units are spaced at some distance. There is more area for the installation of wind turbines, and it's less complex because we don't have to compact all the components. But you saw that there is we have to transfer the plastic from one unit to other, so there is more power requirement. And also I think it will be important to balance this because it's not a single unit. This is the second arrangement. Basically we have separated the uh, incoming and outgoing side of the plastics, and rest is more like the flow is same. There are three units, and it also has its own pros and cons. You can see that there are different units which can now the transfer of the plastic won't take as much power as it was in the previous case. The single unit is easy to balance. It has more space, and we can install more solar panels. But it has the disadvantages that as the structure is compact, in case of some accident or fire, it can spread rapidly, and it's more complex. So this is our future schedule. Basically, we are aiming at the 3D modeling of this, one of this. So that's your suggestion.